No, I'm not back. Um, it's just one of the things that Abba Yahuah is showing me in this section of my walk is pretty much the error of my ways in the past. A lot of the things he would say to me, it was just so beneficial to me that I just wanted to share it with everybody. Much like, a child when they first learn how to tie their shoe or ride a bike, they want to show everybody and like, hey, look what I can do. But as he begins to mature me, he sat me down to show me there are some things that I speak to you that's for you. And then there's some things that I speak to you that I want you to tell other people. And even in that, sometimes there's a specific person or peoples that he wants you to speak to. And then sometimes he wants me to do like I'm doing right now with this video and the last video, and addressing just in general a group of people, because whoever stumbles upon this video was meant to stumble upon this video. But so what he was talking to me about recently was the fat portion, trimming the fat. So in the book of Vayikra or Leviticus, that's the book that goes in depth about the different types of animalistic sacrifices that were offered in the Old Covenant. And I know that there's a group out there that's like, oh, we don't have to do the sacrifices and stuff anymore. No, we don't sacrifice animals anymore because of Yahushua HaMashiach. But he came to show us what the law was always intended to be in the first place. So that's what it means by the renewed covenant. Everything that he showed and taught and we're supposed to be doing today is what it was always meant to be. It's just there's a theme that you'll notice in the Bible between the children or the people of Yahuah and the children of Hasatan, or this worldly beast system. So everything, because Yahuah is Ruach, everything that he does is actually ruachally. He does it spiritually. The ruachal realm is actually the dominant realm because that's where Yahuah exists, being as he is ruach. And then the physical realm is the manifestation of the ruachal realm. So what Hasatan does is he gets you to focus on the physical, which is the lesser realm or reality. He gets you to focus on the physical so that you miss whatever it is that's going on in the Ruachal realm. And that has been the case since the beginning with mankind. So one of the problems that Yahushua had with the Parashim or the Pharisees and the Sadducees and lawyers and scribes was they didn't have eyes to see or ears to hear. What he's saying is, I'm coming to, he literally came to show us what the law actually was for all along. So going back to the animalistic sacrifices, I'm sorry, you guys, I got like something in my eye. But going back to the animalistic sacrifices, so one of the things that I've seen is, or that Ruach HaKodesh showed me is consistent with the animalistic sacrifices is the fat portion was always meant to be Yahuwah's portion. And what Ruach HaKodesh said was the fat of the animal is the unhealthy and unnecessary part of that animal. So, and because the Levitical priests would sometimes eat these animals and so on and so forth, they were not to eat the fat. They were not to eat the unhealthy and unnecessary portions of that animal. Where am I going with this? So if you jump over to Romans 12:1, where it says that we're supposed to present our bodies as living sacrifices. That is what it was always meant to be. That's always been what the animalistic sacrifices represented in the Old Covenant. It representing us handing over the unnecessary and unhealthy portions of ourselves over to Yahuwah. So if you have a jealousy problem, an anger problem, a self-esteem, I don't know, like any problem, a lust problem, like if you have basically your flesh nature is at enmity with the Ruach. So every part of your flesh nature is supposed to be handed over. That is the fat portion that we are supposed to hand over to Yahuwah so that he can do whatever he's going to do with it. And he gives us his nature, his character, his authority. So the Hebrew and the Greek word for name is Shem and Onoma. So Shem is the Hebrew, Onoma is the Greek. Shem means nature and character. Onoma means character and authority. So in a nutshell, when it says that we are coming in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, it's really saying we are coming in his character and in his authority. And you only do that by handing the fat portions or the flesh nature over to Yahuah so that he can give you his nature and his character and his authority via Yahushua HaMashiach. A lot of people take the teachings of Paul, all of his epistles, as though he spoke against the law of Yahuah. The thing with Paul is being an ex-Pharisee, he was given the insight to know what the law that he had been teaching all this time, what it really meant. So he was now still teaching the law, but he was teaching the true meaning of the law and the true way that we are to carry it out, which is ruachally. We carry out the law ruachally. I want to say Romans 7:14, he mentions that the law is ruachal. And then I want to say in Romans chapter 9, now if I'm wrong, pray for me. But I want to say it's Romans chapter 9 where he talks about you are not an Israelite by blood, but you are an Israelite by faith. So whether you're a bloodline Israelite or a Gentile, if you have faith in Yahushua HaMashiach and you've been born again and you are carrying out the ruachal law of Yahuah, then you are an Israelite. This is what he's talking about. And he even mentions, I want to say, that there are even those who are bloodline Israelites that in the eyes of Yahuah, because they are not carrying out the ruachal law of Yahuah, they are not children of the promise. Children of the promise are those who walk in Ruach HaKodesh, walk in the ruachal law of Yahuah. But I mean, all throughout Paul's teachings, I mean, even in Galatians chapter 5, I want to say it's either verse 26 or 25, where he's saying that, you know, if you live in the spirit, also walk in the spirit. He talks about how the law is not against the law is not against those who walk in the Ruach. I said all that to say it's always been about the spiritual. Yahusha came to give sight to the blind. If you're still looking at everything from a physical aspect, you are blind, which is the reason why he kept calling the Parashim, the Pharisees, blind guides, because he knew that they did not understand the ruachal aspects of the law that they were teaching. They took everything and made it into man-made religion, traditions of men. That's one of the things that Ruach HaKodesh was rebuking me about, because when I first entered onto this true path, this narrow path, because this path is narrow and it is hard, I was trying to do all the things, okay? I was trying to wear my head wrap all the time. I mean, I was doing all the things. Now, here's what I am saying and here's what I'm not saying. What I'm not saying is that there's anything wrong with wearing head wraps and changing, you know, different aspects of your lifestyle. If you want to stop drinking, all this stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. What I am saying is don't make that into a way to puff yourself up to feel like you are more righteous than another person because of the things that you're doing. Because ultimately, Abba Yahuah is looking at our hearts. So we can be doing a whole lot of things, but we're not human doings. We are human beings. Kindness is not a action. It is a state of being. Love is not an action. It is a state of being. Peace is not what you have. It is a state of being. Okay. So, and those are 3 of the 9 fruits of the Ruach HaKodesh that I have just named. So ultimately we are to be this way, right? So you can do a whole bunch of things and still not be. All right. So I said all that to say, sometimes when I hear Ruach HaKodesh say, wrap your hair up, I do. Sometimes, as you can see right now, it's not wrapped up. If you are someone who has an issue with drinking, whether you drink too much or it completely changes your mental faculties, he might tell you to stop drinking. But that doesn't mean that someone else who's able to handle it needs to stop drinking. And please, my disclaimer is I am talking about wine. I am not talking about liquor. Liquor is called spirits for a reason. And beer is just disgusting. Who would want to drink that? So I am talking about wine. Wine is actually a covenantal drink. It is something that is drank during the feasts. And please understand, it is something that is supposed to be drank with purpose. It's not a casual type of thing. But what I'm saying is there are some people that can do it and some people that can't do it, just like with the head wraps, just like with other things. If you're someone that has a spirit of lust, please believe Ruach HaKodesh is probably going to tell you to cover your body up from head to toe to keep you from that temptation, okay? But there are other people that don't have that problem, so they have that freedom to not have to do that. Now, here's the thing. Here's what Paul talks about. If you are in the presence of someone who has been told to not drink, for instance, but you have that freedom to drink, it is your job as their brother or sister to not drink in front of them. Honor their conviction by not being a stumbling block to them. So he talks about that. I know I got way off of really talking about the fat portions, but maybe this is what Ruach HaKodesh wanted me to say because it came out my mouth. So anyway, fat portions, trimming the fat. Everything that is of the flesh nature is supposed to be given to Abba Yahuah on his altar. So, I mean, as your sacrifice, that's part of your sacrifice. I mean, you obeying him, you doing what he says, all the other stuff, that's other aspects of your sacrifice and your obedience to him. But this is one aspect of it, handing that stuff over. And the thing about it is, a lot of times, and I think I might have mentioned this in the cultivation video, he will cause certain situations to arise so that you can see what's in you. It's not so you can get upset with other people and be like, oh, ha, ha, they got this demon and they got that demon. Because here's the thing. If there isn't anything in you that reacts to anything that someone is doing, then you're good. But if there's something in you that reacts to something that someone does to you or says about you, then that's something you need to hand over. For instance, when the Sanhedrin spoke all kinds of lies about Yahushua HaMashiach, notice he didn't say anything. He sat quietly until they spoke the truth about him. And then he was like, I am what you said. What am I saying? If someone speaks a lie about you and you get offended, that's something in you that is coming into agreement with whatever they said. Because if that something in you wasn't there, you'd probably laugh like, oh, okay. This whole walk is meant to be a walk of introspection. Okay? Because ultimately, you cannot change another person. You can't even change yourself. You can submit to Yahuah Zavao via accepting the sacrifice of Yahushua HaMashiach and then allowing yourself to be born again through Ruach HaKodesh. You can do that. And then the way you walk can inspire someone else to join you on that path. But ultimately, this is a walk of introspection. And with that being said, hand the fat portions over to him. You know, I have a tendency to talk. So I'm not saying I won't make any more videos. I'm just saying that as he tells me to make the videos, I will make it. If he doesn't, then you won't see me. And who's to say that the next video might not be for like 3 years? I don't know. I personally don't care. But I do hope that you have eyes to see and ears to hear what Abba Yahuah is doing in this season right now. Or at this time, I should say. Because he is moving heavily right now. And he is speaking very, very much right now. And he's giving out very crucial instructions for right now for the coming year. Ask Ruach HaKodesh to give you eyes to see and ears to hear, because time is running up. I don't know if you guys are starting to really feel it and realize it, but time is running up. And I'm not trying to scare you. I just love you enough to let you know that you got to surrender. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to go. I was kind of disappointed at something that I found out the other day about a person, because Ruach HaKodesh will give you discernment out of this world. And he showed me what a person that I thought was a really good friend of mine, how they really felt about me. And the thing is, I had a conversation with them because there were things in me that were starting to become offended. And in order to guard my own heart and my own walk and relationship with Abba Yahuah, I had to have a conversation with them so that I could let that go and forgive them, because forgiveness is for you, not the other person. And I did that, but I still was kind of disappointed, and I just had this feeling. And I heard Ruach HaKodesh say, just surrender. And he said it several times that night. He said, just surrender. Just surrender. And it was very gentle. It was very quiet. Just surrender. And I can't remember if I started praise and worship. I know I prayed, but I can't remember if I did praise and worship or not. But either way, I felt a peace about it after that. I became peaceful. Thank you, Ruach HaKodesh, because I just talked about that. But I became peace. I still love this person, but I became peace. And I have to face this person, consistently, but I can face them even with the knowledge that was shown. I mean, even with, the knowledge that was shown to me, the truth that was shown to me about this person. And even in the conversation that I had, what was shown to me was confirmed by their own words. But I said all that to say, like, I don't have to have any animosity towards that person, because it's getting to the point where we have to start realizing that there's two kingdoms. It's always been two kingdoms, but you have to start realizing that there's two kingdoms at work. There's the world beast system, and there's the kingdom of Yahuah. 2 Corinthians 4:4 says that Hasatan is the god of this world. So I just want you guys to understand that there's a difference between the world and the earth. The earth is a planet, the world is a system. Okay? So he is the god of this worldly system, okay? But the God of this planet, the God of the heavens and everything, and all the heavenly hosts, that's Yahuah Zavaot. Let me get off here. I need to go get my lunch because I'm hungry. But I love you guys. Hopefully you learned something. I mean, I wasn't trying to teach you nothing, but hopefully it was a confirmation or a revelation or something, Pray for your girl, you guys. I love you. Until next time, Shalom Aleichem.